Deped Radio.
Deped Radio.
Deped Radio.
Deped Radio. Deped Radio. Deped Radio's always here for you to give you lessons on air for vital information and quality education wherever you are, whatever you do. This is Deped Radio Lesson on Air. Deped Radio Lesson on Air. Deped Radio, made possible by Deped Radio Philippines. Member KBP, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas, and Department of Education. Sulong Edukalidad.
In pursuit of continuous quality education,
living up to DepEd's mandate of no student should be left behind.
From the home of Sarong-Bangi,
The land of Oragons, this is Santo Domingo National High School, School on Air.
School on Air.
A blessed afternoon to everyone, especially to all grade 10 students who are listening to me now. This is teacher Nemia Garcia, gratefully honored to be your guide in this episode of learning new lessons in music. Together, let us explore the Philippine traditional and contemporary music and be amazed of its beauty as we study its characteristics. But before we proceed, I encourage everyone to be in your most convenient place where you can finally tune in our School on Air. Please prepare a pen and a clean sheet of paper where you can write down notes of some important details in our lessons and also where you can write your answers in our activities, and that will be submitted on Thursday. Topic in Quarter 3 music is all about Philippine contemporary music. Last time, you were able to know revered composers of the 20th century, traditional composers, and their contribution to music. This afternoon, we will be familiarized with musical characteristics of Philippine traditional and contemporary music, and after our lesson, you are expected to analyze musical characteristics of traditional and contemporary Philippine music. As review, let's do the Who Am I game. Let's see how familiar you are of the different composers who have become the strongest foundations of what we now know as Philippine music. I'm going to read sentences, and you're going to tell me the name of the composer I am pertaining to. Write your answer in a clean sheet of paper and submit it on Thursday during the retrieval of outputs. Are you ready? Who am I? I am known as the father of Condiman and belongs to the triumvirate of Filipino composers. My music is romantic in style, incorporating Western forms and techniques with folk materials. I compose Pilipinas Kong Mahal. Who am I? Do you have your answer? Well, if your answer is Francisco Santiago, then you are correct. Pilipinas Kong Mahal is one of the most beloved patriotic songs composed by Francisco Santiago. This song is about the Filipinos' undying devotion and love for their beloved country. He is able to convey his love for our country through a well-defined beat and melodious melody. That's why his music is said to be romantic in style incorporating Western forms and techniques with folk materials. Who am I? I'm a composer who was influenced by the musical styles of Schoenberg, Hindemith, and Stravinsky. I developed a style that combined European Romanticism with Chromaticism. Who am I? Yes, it's Nicanor Abelardo. Nasaan ka irog? Bituing marikit. Mutya ng Pasig are some of his musical works that evidently felt the use of chromatic scale. The chromatic scale is a musical scale with 12 pitches. It's a semitone, also known as a half step, above or below its adjacent pitches. Okay, let's proceed now. Who am I? I was known as nationalist composer, expressing Philippines' cultural identity through my composition. No Limitang Hire and El Filibusterismo are two of the operas considered as my masterpieces. Who am I? Do you know who he is? It's Felipe P. De Leon Sr. Oh, I think you're now ready for our next topic. We will be discussing today the characteristics of traditional and contemporary music. Let's start with traditional Filipino music. Traditional Filipino music reflects the way of life, beliefs, and traditions of the rural folks. It is a type of music that usually glorifies the beauty of nature and man's strong connection with his environment. Traditional Philippine music has been influenced by other culture as a result of either intercultural meetings or colonization. One of its distinct characteristics is its employment of diatonic scale. I repeat, diatonic scale, rather than the usual Asian pentatonic scale. Then what are these all about? What effect it has in music? Well, a scale is the tonal basis of music. I remember the song in the musical play, The Sound of Music. It says, I will play it to you. I will sing that song for you this afternoon. The line goes this way. When you know the notes to sing, you can sing so many things. Remember that song, guys? That's an excerpt from The Sound of Music. The song tells us that if you know the notes, the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, you know that? You will be able to create your music. A scale is a set of tones from which you can build melodies and harmonies. All melodies of any songs are derived from it. Now, it is said that traditional music often uses diatonic scale rather than the usual Asian pentatonic scale. A pentatonic scale consists only with 5 notes per octave: the C, the D, the E, the G, and the A, or in sophoneme, the Do, the Re, the Mi, Sol, and La. So they are limited only to 5 pitches, while diatonic scale consists of 7 notes per octave. That includes 5 whole steps and 2 half steps in each octave: the C, the D, the E, the F, G, A, B, and back to C again. Remember the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do? That is the example of the diatonic scale. And with this, the melody of a particular song will be affected. Now, for you to be able to do Activity 2 in your Learning Activity Sheet number 2, I send a copy of the musical piece of the song Sa Ugoy ng Duyan in our GC. Study the musical piece there. Notice the melodic contour or how the notes proceeded. You are asked here to make a graphic notation. Graphic notation is similar to line graph that will show the melodic contour. Remember, as the melody progresses, the pitch may go up or it may go down slowly or quickly, by step or by skip or leap. You just follow the direction of the note that correspond to the lyrics of the song. And after making a graphic notation or a picture line of the melody, identify its melodic motion. Melodic motion is either conjunct or disjunct. Conjunct is when melody proceeds by step from one scale degree to the next, and disjunct if it proceeds by skip or leap. Joy to the World is an example of a song that chooses conjunct motion. If you experience singing it, you will notice that the first line of the song goes do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. It goes down by step. It sounds like this. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Remember that song? Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. So you see, it goes down by step. It descends by step. So that is what you call conjunct melody. While the first, another is Somewhere Over the Rainbow. The first line of this song is an example of disjunct motion. The first two notes of the said song leap an octave from lower do to higher do. It sounds like this. Just the first line, okay? I don't know that song. I'm not familiar with that. So I will just give you an example of what disjunct is. So it sounds like this. Somewhere over the rainbow. So notice the first two notes. Somewhere, the some and the where. It leaps from do to do. So that is what we call disjunct melody. So you are now familiar with the conjunct and disjunct motion of melody. All right, have you noticed how it differs? Did you feel the difference between conjunct and disjunct motion of melody? Which one do you think is difficult to sing? Which is easier? Precisely. Conjunct motion of melody is easy to sing rather than the disjunct motion. Traditional music uses both, mixing it up to come up with a better music. Before we continue, may I remind you again of your Activity 2 in your last 2. Making a graphic notation of the song Sa Ugoy ng Duyan and identify its melodic contour as conjunct or disjunct or a combination of both. Now, let's proceed to contemporary music. Contemporary Philippine music is also known as new music or modern music. It pertains to compositions that have adopted elements of 20th century Western music as well as the latest trends and musical styles in the entertainment industry and in the music world. Again, contemporary music in the Philippines usually refers to compositions that have adapted ideas and elements from 20th century art music in the West, as well as the latest trends and musical styles in the entertainment industry. It's a combination or fusion of conventional sound and a new sound. What are the characteristics of Philippine contemporary music? Philippine contemporary music is said to be fewer lyrical melodies than other periods. The term lyrical here means something emotional, flowing, singable, and melodious. Probably there would be an element of romanticism in the music, and absence of this element often seen or felt in music nowadays. The use of synthetic and electronic sounds is also evident. Contemporary music is percussive. It has a greater use of percussion instrument. Rhythm is more dominant than melody. Beat is strongly felt. Another is contemporary music uses complex rhythms. Example of this is the use of the triple T or 3/8 notes on a triple ta or 3/4 notes. Basically, in 2/4 time signature, 3/4 and 4/4 time signature, quarter notes receive one beat. If there are 4/4 notes in a measure of 4/4 time signature, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. But if we use triple ta with 6/4 notes in a measure, it will sound like this. Triple ta, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Though both examples use the same notes, but it gives different sound. You see? Can you hear that? The 4/4 note sounds 1, 2, 3, 4, the traditional way. But the complex rhythm sounds, the triple ta, sounds like this. Triple ta, triple ta. Another example is the triple T, an 8 note that receive one beat in a simple meter. In 2/4 time signature, there will be 4/8 notes in a measure, and it sounds like this. T, 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 T. Or 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and. That's it. I repeat, the 4/8 notes in 2/4 time signature sounds like this. 1 and 2 and. I repeat, it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and. There are 4/8 notes, 4 sounds. But in complex rhythm, using the triple T, it will sound like this. Triple T, triple T, triple T, triple T, triple T, triple T. So you feel the difference of the complex rhythm to the traditional one? So you see how rhythm differ. Both example 1 and 2 uses the same note, but it produces different sound from simple rhythm to complex rhythm. We have also the so-called complex meter. Complex meter can be defined as a meter that does not fit into the usual duple or the 2/4 time signature, the triple meter or the 3/4 time signature, or quadruple meter or the 4/4 time signature categories. Like a tango that usually uses 5/4 or 7/8 times signature. 5/4 and 7/8 time signature are not common. Another is a polymeter. A polymeter is when 2 or more performers are playing different time signatures. For example, one guitarist could be playing in 4/4 time signature, while the drummer could be playing in 9/8. This is a great way to build massive amounts of tension in your song. Lastly is the use of syncopation. Syncopation is a temporary displacement of the regular metrical accent in music caused typically by stressing the weak beat. Traditionally, strong beat or accented beat always on the first beat. Applying this principle, the meter of a song could be easily identified. But if notes are syncopated, it would be difficult for us to know its meter, all of which brings an innovative sound to the music. For us to understand it more, I will be playing Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika, one of the award-winning compositions of Ryan Cayabyab. His composition mostly of traditional Western influence. As we listen, feel its rhythm. Let's see if you can tell me its meter. Say if it is duple, 2 counts in a cycle, triple, 3 counts in a cycle, and quadruple meter if there are 4 counts in a cycle. Start your counting 1 to the strongest beat. I repeat, feel the strong beat and start your count 1 to it. And tell me if it is duple, 2 counts in a cycle, triple if there are 3 counts in a cycle, and quadruple meter if there are 4 counts in a cycle. Write your answer in your answer sheet. Are you ready? Here knows the music. Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika.
Magmula nung ako'y natutong umawit, naging makulay ang aking munting daigdig. Tila ilong pala ang paghimig, kung malalim damdaming pag-ibig, kung umapaw ang kaluluwa't tinig, ay sadyang nanginginig.
Magmula nung ako'y natutong umawit,
bawat sandali aking pilit mabatid, ang himig na maituturing anin, mapupuyat ang katpukatangi, di marami ang di magsasabing, eto na inyong dinggin. Kay ganda ng ating musika, kay ganda ng ating musika, ito ay atin, sariling atin, at sa habang buhay, awitin natin. Kay ganda ng ating musika, kay ganda ng ating musika, ito ay ating, sariling atin.
All right. How do you find the song? Are you able to identify its meter? Why? And why not? Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika gives us new rhythmic experience, right? Complexity of rhythm is strongly felt. But beat is still defined that help us identify its meter. Did you get that? Did you get the meter? Then what is your answer? Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika is in quadruple meter. Hope you got the right answer. Let's listen to it again. And for now, focus on its melody. We will be analyzing its texture. Here's now your Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika.
Ako'y natutong umawi, nakabuhay muli ang aking paligid. Ngayong batid ko na ang umibig,
sa sariling pagtawagin uhimik, sa isang makatay maririnig, mga tinig
nagsasabing, kay ganda ng ating musika, sariling atin at sa habang buhay awitin natin kay ganda ng ating musika, kay ganda ng ating musika. Ito ay ating sariling atin at sa habang buhay awitin natin kay ganda ng ating musika, kay ganda ng ating musika. Ito ay ating sariling atin kay ganda ng ating musika.
All right, that's your kay ganda ng ating musika. Texture is the relationship among various notes in a musical composition, both as they sound together and one after another. There are three kinds of texture. First is monophony, and monophony is a musical texture made up of a single unaccompanied melodic line. I repeat, monophony is a musical texture made up of a single unaccompanied melodic line. Secondly, homophony. Homophony is a texture in which a major section is supplemented by one or more secondary strands that fill out the harmony. The melody of one part takes center stage, while the other parts play single notes or a complex accompaniment. Thirdly is the polyphony. Polyphony is a type of musical texture consisting of two or more melodic simultaneous lines of independent melody. This time, let's listen again to the song Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika and try to analyze its texture. Listen to its stanza and to its chorus part. What is the texture of the stanza part, the chorus part? And write monophony, homophony, or polyphony in your answer sheet. Are you ready? So this time, we are going to listen again the Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika from the repetition part. And this time, you are going to analyze the texture of the song. You are going to identify the stanza part and the chorus part of the repeated part of the song. The second half of the Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika. And you are going to identify the stanza and the chorus part. Okay? So listen carefully. Here's now your music.
Magmula nang ako'y natutong umawi, nakabuhay muli ang aking paligid. Ngayong patid ko na ang umibig
Sa sariling tugtugin uhimik, sa isang makatay maririnig, mga titik
nagsasabing kay ganda ng ating musika, kay ganda ng ating musika. Ito ay ating sariling atin at sa habang buhay awitin natin kay ganda ng ating ay ating sariling atin kay ganda ng ating musika.
Okay. Did you identify the texture in the stanza and chorus part of the song? Let's check if you are correct. Since there is only one melodic line in the stanza part, and though there's part there that a boy and a girl simultaneously sing, but they still have the same melodic line. They sang in unison, and the singer is being accompanied by the instrument that harmonize them. So, in that case, the texture is homophony. Now, if you notice again in the chorus part, you won't hear just one melody there. It comprises of different melodic lines, right? The singers sing one after the other, and each one sing independent melodies. This is an example of a polyphony texture. I repeat, that shows a polyphony texture. Well, how's your answer then? Is your answer correct? Good job, if you're correct. Before we come to our evaluation, let us recap what we have studied this afternoon. As a result of either intercultural meetings or colonization, the diatonic scale is the most commonly utilized by traditional composers rather than the traditional Asian pentatonic scale. Meanwhile, contemporary music or new music, characterized by fewer lyrical melodies than the other periods, percussive, uses complex rhythm, complex meter, polyrhythm, syncopated notes, and the use of synthetic and electronic sounds that brings us new sound. For a deeper knowledge of musical styles and their sources of influence, the lesson on 20th century Filipino composer could be combined with Philippine history. An understanding of the importance of our nationalist composers as key representatives of our cultural history. Composers from the Philippines in the 20th century contributed to the introduction of new sounds that differed from the conventional or differed rather from the conventional folk song and condiment tunes that we are accustomed to. Others mix ethnic sounds and musical aspects with Western approaches in their compositions, while some supported the Impressionistic style. All right, let's see if you have learned from our lesson today. Get your paper again, the one that you used in previous activity this afternoon, and write the answer in the following questions. Are you ready? Our evaluation is comprised of two parts. First part is true or false, and the second part is enumeration. Let's have first the true or false. Write true if the statement is correct, and false if it is not. Okay? I repeat. Write true if the statement is correct and false if it is not. Alright, number 1. The use of diatonic scale of traditional Filipino composers is an influence by Western forms and style. I repeat, the use of diatonic scale of traditional Filipino composers is an influence by Western forms and style. Number 2. The melody of most Filipino songs is derived from the diatonic scale. Again, for number 2, the melody of most Filipino songs is derived from the diatonic scale. Number 3, diatonic scale is composed of 7 tones with 5 whole tone steps and 2 semitone steps. I repeat, for number 3, diatonic scale is composed of 7 tones with 5 whole tone steps and 2 semitone steps. Number 4, the melody is much broader and wider on the diatonic scale than on the pentatonic scale. Again, for number 4, the melody is much broader or wider on the diatonic scale than on the pentatonic scale. And for number 5, the conjunct is harder to sing than the disjunct type of melody. I repeat, for number 5, the conjunct is harder to sing than the disjunct type of melody. Let's come now to our second part, enumeration. Give what is asked in the following sentences. Okay? You are going to give what is asked in the following questions or sentences. For number 1 and 2, we discussed 3 kinds of texture this afternoon. What are the textures used in the song Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika? Again, what are the textures used in the song Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika, especially on the repeated part of the stanza and chorus part of the song? Okay? Give the 2 textures we mentioned a while ago. Number 3, what is the meter of the song Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika? What is the meter of the song Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika? Though there is a complexity in the rhythm, but still the beat or the rhythm is still defined. So what is the meter of the song? Number 4, what do you call the temporary displacement of the regular metrical accent in music caused typically by stressing the weak beat? I repeat, number 4, what do you call the temporary displacement of the regular metrical accent in music caused typically by stressing the weak beat? And for number 5, give 6 forms or technique used in contemporary music that affect much the rhythm. I repeat, for number 5, give 6 forms or technique used in contemporary music that affect much the rhythm. Let me see if you can still remember those techniques or form I've mentioned in contemporary music. Okay, for you to furtherly understand the lesson, I will be giving you song Bayan Ko by the selected SPA vocals. I will just send it in our GC. This Tagalog song is actually a poem written by Jose Corazon de Jesus in 1929. It was set to music by Constancio de Guzman. So the music composed by Jose Corazon and the lyric or the lyricist is Constancio. Oh, the music is Constancio de Guzman and the lyricist is Jose Corazon. Listen to this song and analyze its melody, harmony, and rhythm of the song. And I will also be providing you a guide for you to answer this activity. This will be an added activity for you to learn and understand more our music of today. So just wait. I will be sending you the song Bayan Ko sung by the selected SPA vocals and also the guide questions for you to answer this activity, okay? Just wait for it. Maybe tonight I will be posting it in our GC. As a reminder, before we end up, please submit tomorrow your answer sheet of our activity today. I want to see your answer in Who Am I activity, graphic notation of Sa Ugoy ng Duyan, analyzation of Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika, and of course, the evaluation activity. Please do not forget to write your name. Hope you made it. That ends our lesson for today. It has been another day of exploring music. I hope you enjoy your day. Give yourselves a round of applause for the job well done. I'll be longing of hearing you again next time in our School on Air program. This is your teacher, Mom Nems, wishing you all the best in life through God's mercy and grace. God bless everyone. Goodbye.